Welcome back, everyone. This is Sheepdog Smokey, and honestly, this doesn't surprise me much. Apparently, New York City is going to use about $11.6 million of taxpayer funds to help illegal immigrants fight deportation. New York City is drowning in debt. They are about to actually go bankrupt, and they're going to take $11 million to help illegal immigrants fight deportation. Now, there's something I would say before we start reading this. The only ones who are on active deportation retainers are those in jail for yet other crimes on top of being here illegal. It doesn't matter if it's in jail for failure to appear for a parking ticket all the way up to MS-13 for murder. They are still breaking other laws. And New York City is going to help them fight deportation. Now, this honestly doesn't surprise me. First, we have AOC basically bullying Amazon out of New York and then complaining that they should take the money they were saving because Amazon's not going to get that tax abatement and use it elsewhere, showing that she has no clue about economics because they weren't paying Amazon anything. But let's look at this one. New York City is allocating $11.6 million in taxpayer funds to pay for lawyers to help illegal immigrants who are facing deportation from the United States. New York City officials announced this week that they have added an extra $1.6 million in funding to pay for the attorneys on top of the $10 million the city already allocates to cover legal costs for illegal aliens. On Thursday, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and New York City Council Speaker Corey Johnson, both Democrats, approved the measure to provide the extra $1.6 million. The money has been allotted for the New York Immigrant Family Unity Project. It's a mouthful. A city government-funded program that supports public defenders who work with illegal immigrants going through deportation proceedings. Let's just stop here and acknowledge that Bill de Blasio is flashing a white power symbol, according to liberals. The additional funding allocation takes the total budget set aside for illegal aliens' legal costs to $11.6 million. New York City's public defenders, however, advocated for an extra $6.6 million in funding to address the backlog of illegal alien deportation cases, the New York Daily News reported. This emergency funding will help us provide more attorneys to New Yorkers in need, Johnson said, adding, This is crucial right now as the ICE deportation machine has ramped up efforts to interfere with the necessary work of NYC FUP is doing by pushing people through the system with zero regard for due process. I will continue to fight these un-American and horrific immigration policies. The Democratic City Council voted in favor of the measure Thursday morning. According to Breitbart, illegal aliens who face deportation proceedings do not have a right to taxpayer-funded public defenders in U.S. courts. They're not citizens, so no, they don't. Nonprofit legal organizations throughout the country often represent illegal aliens going through the deportation process, but de Blasio and other New York City officials used taxpayer funds for public defenders representing illegal aliens. While the Trump administration continues to demonize immigrants, we know that their contributions are part of what makes our city great, said Mayor Bill de Blasio. So MS-13 killing people makes New York great? Good, I won't come visit, so my taxpayer money won't go there. We are proud to help provide desperately needed legal representation in the face of punitive federal policies. Other blue states, such as California, have established similar programs where taxpayer money is used for lawyers who defend illegal aliens in court. In 2017, former Governor Jerry Brown proposed using $15 million in taxpayer funds to defend illegal aliens in deportation proceedings. This is honestly not a surprise to me. Liberals want to demand that everything under the sun is a right except for what is actually enumerated in the Bill of Rights. They want to say that foreign nationals have a right to completely disregard our laws, and then they have a right to be funded by our money. The end goal of all those policies, all those liberal policies, is the utter destruction of the United States. The more people we import, the more money we have to spend, which is more taxes we have to collect. Because whether we're spending money to prosecute them and deport them, or in California or New York, to give them welfare and legal representation to help them avoid the consequences of their crimes. It's still money that has to come from somewhere. And of course, the only place they can actually make sure they get it are American citizens' taxes. De Blasio, of course, lives in a very secure home guarded by men with guns. Meanwhile, he tells his citizens they shouldn't have guns because, of course, the poor, downtrodden immigrants just want a better life. But for many of them, that includes breaking the law repeatedly. I wonder what would happen if an illegal alien jumped over a wall to break into de Blasio's homes. How fast would that illegal alien be deported, or even worse, put on death row because he dared to violate the sanctum of Bill de Blasio's home? How fast would Gavin Newsom or Jerry Brown or Maxine Waters, Kamala Harris, any of them, demand the full brunt of the law be brought against an illegal alien who broke into their home because, of course, they just wanted a better life, and that better life included living in a mansion? It's a double standard that has to stop. We have senators and congressmen and mayors all over the country, governors in some states, demanding that law-abiding citizens be stripped of their Second Amendment rights, and in the process of that, also denied their Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights because criminals use guns, like Zarate, who was a criminal illegal alien who had gotten out of jail only to shoot Kate Steinle. But because of that, we shouldn't, sorry about that, we shouldn't deport the illegal aliens, and we shouldn't lock up the murderers and rapists. We should make it harder for law-abiding Americans to protect themselves and defend themselves. When a thug breaks into a home of an elderly woman or an elderly person, assaults them, and is shot in the process, we don't get reports of a law-abiding citizen successfully defending their home and life. We get people crying on TV about the blatant racist violence that stole the life of a young person who just needed help. We actually had a mother on TV after her son was shot while brutally robbing a home and assaulting the homeowners, saying, where he gonna get his money? Unlike those people who stupidly work for a living. And this is just going to exacerbate the problem. De Blasio and Newsom doing this is just going to tell the world, yeah, sure, break our laws. We'll help you stay to break more. New York is crumbling under financial pressure that they've not faced in decades. California is crumbling under feces and needles in the streets. Yet their Democrat leaders want to spend money to keep the people causing it in that city or that state. Is it any wonder they're hemorrhaging citizens who are leaving? New York is now auditing people who move out of state or who own a home in another state. San Francisco saw a phenomenon I've never seen where there are no U-Haul trucks in the city to let people move out of town. How long before we see a California state tax or a New York City tax called the exit tax, where you must pay to be allowed to move to another location so you can avoid the taxes that are causing you to move? Because, of course, they'll say we have to fund these vital programs to help the downtrodden who just want a better life. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. These cities and these states have been run by Democrats for decades. Not since Rudy Giuliani has New York had an actual decent mayor. And not since Ronald Reagan has California had a governor that really cared about them and worked. Sure, you got Schwarzenegger for a time, but the man may have run as a Republican, but he's fairly liberal. And you'll notice he didn't really stop any of the programs being done. He just didn't let them grow. Because otherwise they wouldn't have been where they are to let Newsom or to let Brown build them to where they are now. We're going to hit a crisis point in these states, and it's going to be when there are more illegal immigrants than there are citizens, and the tax money is not there. And you will then hear de Blasio or Newsom or Emmanuel from Chicago crying on CNN about how evil and racist and bigoted President Trump is, or whoever the president is at the time, for not just handing them pallets of cash to continue their destructive programs. New York is all but gone. California all but fallen. And it's because of policies like this, where we actually spend taxpayer money to defend criminals from being deported because they're in this country illegally and then broke further laws. But I've talked about this long enough. Let me know what you think. Keep the comments classy and civil. We don't learn from an argument, we learn from debate. And that's the only way we're going to learn from each other. Also, make sure to like the video. I am planning several other uh, avenues to go down that are not reaction to the news. I just see these things and react to them naturally. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're kept up to date with all of the new content. Until next time, you guys have a wonderful day.